Hey Mets fans, this is Jonah Tong, and this is the Reddit Ask Me Anything, I guess, so let's get through it.
Your first question, I tried to break it up into groups, so this is going to be the
Appreciate it.
baseball section.
Is there something you targeted as a specific area of improvement this offseason?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think a big area was just, finding my arsenal. I think I do that every year, and this year specifically was on a cutter and curveball, or slider and curveball, and make sure those are dialed in.
Is there a pitch you're most excited to incorporate into your game in 2026?
Ooh, my knuckleball. No, I'm just kidding. It's definitely the cutter. I think that's going to be a very big weapon for me this year.
I know Tim Lincecum was one of your inspirations for pitching, but who are some other pitchers who you tried to emulate?
I think every kid in their right mind should follow Jacob deGrom. I think he does the poetic version of it, like he's effortless velocity. Greg Maddux in a way, even though I probably missed out a little bit on some of his stuff, just different arm slots. Nolan Ryan, like Randy Johnson even, like it's more for me like a mindset thing. Big one I've been getting into lately is Pedro Martinez. I think he's a good influence for a lot of guys.
Which veteran would you lean on most for advice? I am sure you love them all and each helps in their own way, but is there any veteran you would gravitate to if you had a question?
Yeah, that's the fun part. I think the ones I've been definitely leaning on a lot, especially from the starting area, is Clay Holmes, David Peterson, and Sean Manaea. I think it's hard to say that like one person does more than the other when they're so unique in their own respects. Like I know people obviously here, but like I play games with Sean like chess and Smash Bros, but like at the same time like they're all going to answer different aspects of different questions, and I think that's what makes them like a perfect trio when it comes to a lot of things. So for me as a rookie, I just try to soak up that as much as possible.
What about MLB hitters is different than minor league hitters?
Yeah, I think a big thing with that is when you're in the minors, it's like you're trying very hard to get to the majors. You want there's a development focus. When you're in the majors, it's like, okay, well, you're here. I'll never forget Tyrone Taylor was sitting with me on the bench and goes, "Welcome to it." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "This is the peak of where you're trying to get. This is the highest point." And I was like, "Oh my!" And listening to like some of the hitters and even pitchers, it's like their focus is now the team. Everything's about winning. So like you won't get too many people are going to sell out and all that things. But I think it's fun, right? As a pitcher going through it, because they all have very similar approaches. It's just like the very small things that they do really well.
Is there any particular reason you chose number 21 as your major league number?
Fun fact, I didn't choose it. I think that's the cool part. I don't think I've ever really chosen a jersey minus last year in Binghamton. I chose 16 because it's my mom's favorite number and that's mine growing up. But yeah, I think believe in a lot of things like fate and what God has in store, and I think 21 was just the one that he put there.
What was going through your head during your MLB debut?
Breathe. But no, in all seriousness, I think it was just appreciating the atmosphere, the people around me, and the fact that you only debut once. And I think, pitching coach last year, Hefner said it best. It was just like, he's like, "Hey man, go out there, have fun, smile." And I thought, like, especially Louis did a great job of calming me down in a lot of respects.
How do you balance having a playful spirit with the focus required to get ready for the season?
There's time and places. I think my big thing is I try to have a bulldog mentality when on the mound, but I'm a big softie off it. I like to have a lot of fun, and I've definitely channeled, there's a persona thing I like to call JT. It's been given to me upon like by our pitching staff. So when I'm able to flip the switch with that, it's like, okay, game time, and there's a time for just Jonah to be around.
What's one thing you wished more people knew about playing professional baseball?
It's a lot of fun. And I think the beauty of our game is like every out matters, every play matters. So like there's no point where I'm ever like, oh, we're just playing baseball. No, it's a lot of fun, and like, bloop single starts a rally, or a big strikeout creates, changes the game. And not only that, like when the fans get into it, I think it's awesome. I love playing at home and like seeing everybody rally for us, and even on the road when they're on the other side of it, I love that. So I think it's just a beautiful sport.
Would you rather throw a perfect game or win a Cy Young?
Ooh. So you go down in history as one of the very few people to do it versus one of the best pitchers that year. That's also short list. I think winning a Cy Young. I think a perfect game is going to be one of those things where it's going to be probably the hardest thing to do in pitching. but definitely a Cy Young.
All right, we're gonna get into some food and maple syrup questions.
Can't not wait. Enthusiast himself.
Have you tried New York State maple syrup, and how does it compare to Canadian?
It's okay. Canadian, the best thing I describe to people is like the maple syrup's a little bit different, but classic rule of thumb, the darker the better. It's just a little more rich. I prefer Canadian. New York's is okay. Vermont's is it's okay too. I'm just kidding. Vermont's is all right. It's a very good comparison.
Best NYC restaurant you've been to since you joined the team last year?
Okay, so there's not one restaurant, but there's a place called Urban Hawker. It's a Singaporean street food market kind of thing, so it's just a bunch of different places, so there's a bunch of different stalls. My girlfriend and I went, not this past year, but the year before, and it was the best experience I've ever had. It's unbelievable. You have to try it.
What's the best slice of pizza you've had in NYC?
Oh, Joe's. Joe's single slice, especially the one from, I think that's the one from Spider-Man, right? I waited so long to try that pizza, and when I had it, it was unbelievable. DeFara or DeFarini out in Brooklyn is also really good. Their hot honey is incredible.
How much maple syrup is too much maple syrup?
Okay, so I will preface, I don't like to soak my pancakes or French toast or anything I put it on in maple syrup. I'm a big like cut it up and dip it in. So there is definitely a lot. I think that, you know, a good reasonable portion for like a regular pancake is probably for me like probably that big, that deep. I generally don't use it all, but like a cup of maple syrup is a little bit too much for me personally. But I guess the easy answer is depends on the setting.
Do you have any sway in getting Citi Field to have a grilled cheese and maple syrup stand?
I am currently, just because of this question, going to work on that. I'll talk to as many people as I possibly can about that because I do feel that's important. And I'll make sure it only has Canadian maple syrup because we need to make sure it's done proper.
How do you like the fans bringing tongs to games? Any other way you'd like to be cheered on?
So fun fact, I didn't know that was the case until someone sent it to me later, and I was like, there's no way. I think some guy was in like the 500s or 400s or whatever it was. And he's just clapping, and I was like, there's no way a guy brought tongs to a baseball game, and I love it. My goal is to get tongs engraved on it and bring it to the field and have that be mine, but I love it. I think that's really cool, especially when fans make things, so I appreciate each and every one of you.
Can you use tongs better than the average person?
Whew. You know what? I'm gonna be bold and say, because it's in my name, yes. There's just an art to it that, you know, it's the last name privilege right there.
If you had to compete in the Winter Olympics, what would your event be and why?
I'd say, see, in basketball, it'd be left bench. So if equivalent to that, I would be the guy who's gonna rake or like clear the snow from the snowboard thing when they do the tube, snowboard tube. Half pipe, there you go. Sorry, I don't even know. I'd be the guy to like, oh wow, there's a little bit too much snow. Okay, I'm gonna rake it or like pat it down or something like that. Because I feel like that's a very important job that people don't realize, and I definitely win first place in that. Gold medal, all the way.
Who has the best taste in music in the clubhouse?
Ooh, definitely not me. I'm terrible at music. Mark's really good. He's got a very diverse palette sometimes. Nolan's okay. He's good for country music, but not my cup of tea. So I think I'm gonna go Mark Vientos.
What is your favorite minor league baseball team name you've played for or against?
Most random team.
Bathtub Donkeys. I don't think we lost in the Bathtub Donkey uniforms. I don't think.
Academically speaking, are there any subjects you particularly enjoyed or still enjoy?
Math was always my favorite. I love how answers are concrete. Sciences I was terrible in just because there's definitions and so many like, well, so I'm a guy who's gonna be like, yes, A, B, C, whatever it was. So math, and then also a little bit of business. I really like to talk to people and integrate like that.
What's your favorite dinosaur?
Aerodactyl. I think they're really cool. And when in doubt, fly away.
What's your favorite Pokemon?
Torterra. So, yeah, he's my favorite.
What's your favorite Pokemon region?
What was Pearl, Diamond, and Platinum?
Sinnoh.
Yeah,
Right?
Sinnoh was definitely my favorite. Platinum was my favorite game of all time. It's unbelievable. Dude, unreal.
Is there a certain song you like to listen to when you're getting ready to pitch?
I'm a big new metal guy. My roommate Calvin Ziegler taught me a lot about it. So his walkout song was "Coming Undone" by Korn. So that's the last song I listen to before I go out, and it's a really good song.
What was your favorite sports movie as a kid?
Ooh, as a kid, younger, I didn't really have a specific one, but when I got a little bit older, Major League was always my favorite. Incredible movie.
What pitcher on the staff would win an arm wrestling contest? What if you included the whole team?
Clay Holmes and Clay Holmes. He's got massive biceps, and I don't think I'd stand a chance, even double-handed. So.
Is there any non-baseball stuff you're a real nerd about?
Ooh, I'm a real nerd about. Okay, there's a Vietnamese dish called pho. I am obsessed with it. It is incredible. It's my favorite thing. If I could have a cheat meal, deathbed meal, death row, whatever it is, it's pho. Everybody knows this about me. I can probably put down a boiling hot bowl of pho within a minute and 30 seconds. And if you've ever had pho, that's incredible. If you need a good recommendation, I'm probably your person. Thank you very much for all your submissions, and hope to hear more.